Today we're going to be talking about the power of the compounding effect of a push-up. Before we talk about the power of the compounding effect of a push-up, I want you to go down and hit the subscribe button, please. Go down and hit the subscribe button, please. And don't forget to share this video. The compounding effect. We all know that the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest, and how compound interest work is that you have a curve that goes like this, and then all of a sudden, if you stay consistent and you keep staying consistent, it goes up in an exponential curve, and it just soups up and just keeps going. And that's what we're going to be sharing about today when we talk about the power of the compounding effect of a push-up. Let's use 4 points as normal as we talk about this. Point number 1, we have to be willing to be 1% better than we were yesterday. We have to be willing to be 1% better than we were yesterday. Don't look and compare yourself with anybody. All what you're striving to do is to grow every single day 1% better than you were the day before. How do you grow 1% better than you were the day before? You put the lessons that you learn into action. You see, even if you make a mistake, you learn from it and you put that remedy or that correction into action. And as you do that, you will become 1% better than you were the day before. And that's all what it is. You're striving every single day to be 1% better than you were the day before. You are going out there and you're grabbing books, you're grabbing seminars, you're grabbing a coach, a life coach. Go out and find me a good life coach. You're grabbing a life coach and you're grabbing people and resources that could help you to be 1% better than you were the day before. You're going out there and you're learning, you're reading, you're growing in your craft. You're looking with vision and foresight as to what's happening in the economy, what's happening around the world, and you're making sure that you position yourself so that you will be prepared for the tomorrows. Yes, you want to be prepared for the tomorrows. And how you do that is that you have to be 1% better than you were the day before. Point number 2, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. A lot of times people will look at me and they say, you know so much, you have so much knowledge in so different things. But as I said over and over again, a lot of people don't realize every single day I put at least 3 hours into my personal development. That includes my devotional time, that includes reading, that includes listening to audiobooks and all of that. When you see me with my headphones in my ear, I'm listening, I'm growing myself, because I know it doesn't matter how I feel about this at this present moment. It may not be fun to get up and read. It may not be fun to always be studying and growing, but you just have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Learning and growing is not comfortable. Changing old habits and old mindset is not comfortable. People will have the desire to go out there and spend money and waste money. They won't have the desire to save money and to learn about finances and go out there and grow themselves. They won't have the desire to be entrepreneurial because they don't want to do the extra work. You have to learn to go out there and you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. In order to grow, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. And you have to be willing to be able to stick with what your dream is, what your desire is, what your end goal is. Others may not see it. They may not support you in it. They may belittle you about it. But you can't let that bother you. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable or comfortable and go out there and do what you need to do. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable and take the risk that you need to take. You may fall flat on your face, but then you get up, dust off your knees, and you keep moving forward, because it's in the process that you develop. It's in the process that you succeed. You see, success is not an end result. Success is the person that you're becoming. When you become and you make yourself uncomfortable and you learn about your finances, when a lot of finances start coming into your life, you know how to manage it. You know how to handle it. You will not self-implode. A lot of people self-implode because they want things, but they don't have the foundation to take care of what they're wanting. So that's why it's so important to go out there and be willing to be uncomfortable, to be willing to learn, to be willing to grow, and realize that you have to be 1% better than you were the day before. So go out there and learn to be uncomfortable in your learning and in your growth. Point number 3, we have to be willing to teach others who are teachable what we know. We have to be willing to teach others who are teachable what we know. Yes, the best way to learn something is to go out and teach it. If you learn something, the more you teach it, the better you get at it. And that's what you want to do. You want to go out and impart the knowledge that you have. Go out there, and iron sharpens iron. The more you impart it, the more you teach it, the better you get at it. All of a sudden you realize you start idolizing and idolating, and ideas start flowing into your mind, and creativity starts flowing, and solution and complex solutions start coming up like oil coming up out of the ground, out of your spirit. You see, and that's what happens when you go out there and you learn to teach what you learn. Whatever you learn, you have to go out there and teach others. But you realize what I said. I said a very important thing there. I said to teach others who are teachable. You see, when you go out there and you just see somebody and you figure, okay, they need knowledge in terms of their finances because they're struggling, and you just pour that knowledge on them, you force it on them, and they're not teachable, you're going to end up getting drawbacks. They're going to come back at you. You're going to feel like you're washed up, you're useless. Why is it I'm doing this? I shouldn't have done this. And that's what happens. So you have to be very careful. As you go out there, you want to identify people who are teachable, and you pour into people who are teachable, people who honor you and people who value you, people who ask for help and they're willing to implement what you're teaching them. Those are the type of people that I'm talking about. Do not go out there and cast your pearls to the swine. Go out there and learn to teach those who are teachable. If somebody's not teachable, shake the dust off your feet and move on. Go on. There are tons of people out there. There are tons of starfishes out there that you could pour and you could throw back into the ocean. So go on. Don't ever feel guilty when you try to teach somebody something and they're not willing to learn, and they want to make you feel bad about it. Just shake the dust off your feet and keep on moving. And point number 4, you are blessed. We are blessed to be a blessing. We are blessed to be a blessing. We are blessed, and what we have is not for us alone. What we have is to add value to our communities. What we have is to add value to the world around us. What we have is to add value to our nations, and add value to our families, add values to our friends. So you see, you're truly blessed. Anybody who knows me personally, if you are very close with me, when you stand next to me and you ask a question, it doesn't matter what you need to learn, I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you. So I always tell my friends, if you don't know something, it's because you're wasting your time when you're around me. When you are around me, you're standing next to me, make it count. Ask questions and ask things that will help you grow and help you develop. Ask pointers and I'll give them to you freely, but you see, the fundamental thing is because I know that I'm blessed to be a blessing. I want you to go out there today and learn the power of the compounding effect of a push-up. Go out and learn the power of a compounding effect of a push-up. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button below, please. Hit the subscribe button. And don't forget, something wonderful is going to happen today.